2.
The views and opinions expressed on this program are those of the participants and do not reflect the views of BronxNet or the program underwriters.
BronxNet. Your voice, your views, your vision.
Hello and welcome to Open 2.0. I'm your host, Soraya.
And I'm your host, Nathan Grant.
Today we are joined by Ms. Stacy N.C. Grant.
She's a highly sought-after empowerment specialist who works to motivate and inspire people with smiles, humor, and vibrant energy.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, Soraya. Thank you for having me, Nathan.
So tell me why you began these empowerment sessions for young people.
Part of the reason why, first let me say thank you again for having me on 2.0. It's an honor to be here with such incredible young hosts. You give me inspiration for what I do and why I do what I do. It was clear to me that being a young person, we don't always get all the skills and extracurricular work that we need to apply what we get in the classroom to be successful. So for me, taking part of my platform and using that as a give back to young people to help them dream a bigger dream and to realize that school and education helps them to even the playing ground, but there's a whole big bright world out there for them to expand their skill sets and be able to achieve greater success than the adults in their life.
What is it like working with students? Do you find it challenging at times?
Well, I'm a mother, so the greatest gift as well as the greatest challenge is bringing life into this world. And I call myself sometimes Old Mother Hubbard. I have so many children that I've adopted. My kids get a little jealous because I refer to everyone as my babies, because I know there were people who poured into me when I was your age and who believed that I could do great things and who spoke that over my life. So we don't have enough people in our communities telling our young people all the wonderful things that they can do. We usually complain about some of the challenges rather than give them opportunities to create their own luck. That's something that's a part of my platform. Create their own avenues to bring to our global society new ways of thinking. If you think about how all of the world has changed, movements and things that have happened, it's all been the young people that have started that. I would like to still think I'm young, just a few years removed from you, but it's having that fresh new thought and idea. You know, Mark Zuckerberg was very young when he started Facebook. Look, Facebook has changed the entire world. So there's some young person who's watching BronxNet. I grew up in the Bronx, who can look at this and look at what you're doing and see, wow, maybe there's something that I can learn to do with the knowledge that I'm acquiring in school, but taking it to a new level and really making sure we leave a legacy when we leave this planet.
That's so true.
That is. Why is it important to empower young people?
It's extremely important because we say that young people are the future. I'm sure both of you have heard that numerous times. But if we don't give you the skills, the tools necessary to really run the world, then we, as we get older, my generation and generations that have gone on before me, we won't have much to enjoy. There won't be much for us to do if we don't empower you to be good breadwinners, to go out there and be entrepreneurs, to run businesses, to run the country. So if we don't empower our young people, then we see statistics that the news will tell us that there's a lot of crime and there's dropouts and there's teen pregnancy and all these negative things that are happening in our community. But if we give our young people productive things to do and let them dream and think about the various ways they can use their talents, then we won't have the same amount of issues that we suffer in our society right here in New York and even across the world. So it's using the time that we have productively, because if we don't have time, if we have too much time rather on our hands, then it's an avenue to get into things that we shouldn't get into. So empowering young people, for me, it's a must. It's something that I have to do. It's a part of the fiber in me. I work with adults, and through the work that I do as an empowerment specialist, I get to work with a variety of people. But working with my young people, one, it keeps me young and relative, so I know what songs are out there. I can do the Dougie still, you know, all the things that are there. But I can help them plot a course to change and course correct from what they might see around them in their community, and know that there's a different paradigm, and create that paradigm shift as to what they can do. I'll close on this point with saying Malala, the young lady from Pakistan that was shot because she was trying to get education for young girls in her country. And when I think about the young girls that I work with, some who don't quite appreciate education the same way, it makes me know I still have a lot of work to do. Because if she could fight that vigorously to get education as an opportunity for young girls, and after she came out of the hospital, for her to be quoted as saying they might be able to shoot me, but they can't shoot my dream. That's the kind of message that I want to get into the minds of young people, of what they can do when they dream a bigger dream, when they get out of their current circumstance and a broader paradigm.
Do you have any success stories to share?
Oh, yes. I am very proud to say that because of the years I've been working with young people, I'm dating myself, that I've actually kept track of some who have gone on to college, to graduate school, who've started their own businesses and companies. Just the other day, I ran into one in the grocery store who said, Ms. Grant, you know, I didn't participate as much as I could have in your classes, but I want you to know that I've actually taken a speech course in college, and I'm majoring in psychology, and she's on her way to becoming a psychologist. So stories like that, testimonies like that, make me know that I'm doing the right thing and that it's not going in vain. And one most recent testimony was a young girl that I'm working with in the Women's Academy of Excellence. She wrote me a note on her own, and she said, Miss Grant, no one ever told me I was beautiful. No one ever told me I was smart. No one ever made me feel that I had value. And because of working with you and going through this session, I now feel like I can actually conquer the world. I now feel that it's not uncool for me to be smart, and that I need to push forward with bringing my A game when it comes to school. And I'm paraphrasing. She wrote a 2-page letter to me that had me in tears. And that was confirmation that if I can pour that much into the lives of every young person I come in contact with, then my living will not be in vain.
As a former student of your empowerment sessions, I know the benefits that come along with it, but how has these empowerment sessions helped you through your life?
It's helped me to grow and for me to expand my paradigm, even with dealing with my own kids and understanding that right now the world is a lot different than it was when I went to high school. There's a lot more that our young people have to deal with. There's a lot more that they have to navigate their way through before they can even learn when they open up the books. So for me, working with young people keeps me on the cutting edge of what's really important, what really matters to our young people, because we can't teach and we can't show them how to live a better life or to get an education and go to college if we don't understand the fundamental things that they are dealing with before they even walk into a school building. So until we can get to that point where we understand the total student and what motivates that student and what they have to deal with at home. Some students are taking care of siblings. Some students are in very strenuous situations at home. Some live in neighborhoods where it's not popular to get an education, and there's an impediment every step of the way to get up in the morning and put on a book bag and make their way to school. So for me, it keeps me humble and understanding that I have to look through the eyes and the lenses of the young people that I work with so I can meet them where they are, and together we can go on a journey of success.
What are like the topics you often speak about?
Sure. One of the ones that I love is I'm in Love with Me. That's a self-esteem workshop where we talk about how we see ourselves, because we can criticize from the top of our heads to the crown of our feet what's wrong with us. We're not the right size, we're not weight, the right height, the right color. But getting to the fundamental part of who you are as a person, what makes your soul sing, what makes you an individual. All of us have a unique thumbprint. There are no duplicates. So we have to live our lives like originals, not copycats. So if I can get our young people to understand who they are, to be in love with themselves, then they can produce, then they can do great things, because you can't love anybody else before you love yourself.
That is so true. What type of impact do you leave on the students that you teach, or what type of impact do you feel you leave?
Well, what I feel I leave and what they've told me is the fact that they think differently. It's all about creating habits of success. No matter how old you are, once there's breath in your body, you can still learn. So because I'm teaching doesn't mean I can't learn. It doesn't mean my mother can't learn, or my grandmother, who's still living at 96 and a half, that'll still learn and watch Dr. Oz and tell us what's on it. So there's always an opportunity to learn. But one of the things that I'm able to gauge and see are the habits that have changed. For instance, while we were doing part of the self-esteem and how you present yourself, how you speak, how you use the English language properly, one young person, she used to suck her teeth. Now, I know you might have some friends that are, and you know, that just drives me crazy. So one of the challenges that I said to her, I said, let's work on not sucking our teeth. And she sees me in the hallways now. She said, Miss Grant, I stopped sucking my teeth. And she'll start smiling, and she's learning how to control her behavior. That's how I'm able to see when they report back and tell me the shifts that they've made in their life as a result of the work that we've done. It's not an overnight success story. This is day by day, step by step, making intentional and conscious choices about how you live your life.
What is the hardest part about your job?
The hardest part of the work that I do with working with my young people as well as the adults is the kind of energy that I bring. Sometimes it drains me to the point where I need to replenish because I take it to heart. I wish I had a magic wand that I could just point on everyone's head and voila, life was excellent. And sometimes it's not like that. And I have to deal with some very serious issues that students come in confidence to tell me. And I have to talk myself through it. I have to pray. You know, for me, God is the head of my life, and I publicly and always say that I don't do what I do because I'm fabulous. I do it because he allowed me to do it and because of my divine calling in doing this work. But the hardest part is when I deal with a situation that I know I have no control over, and I can only pray that they take the advice I give and get the additional help in order to succeed, because it does break my heart, because all of the children that I work with, I call them my babies, as I said before, not just the 2 I gave birth to, but each one whose lives I touch.
If there was teens out there who are looking to become a new person or to even simply do something better with themselves, what type of advice would you give them?
The first thing I would tell them to do is to start with an intention. Who are you? What is it that you have that you want to bring to the world? You're not too young to know that. I've met and worked with a lot of young entrepreneurs, some who are doing fabulously well under the age of 16. So it's not an age requirement. What it requires is you to sit still enough to figure out what's most important in your life. Like if you got up tomorrow and you were told that you had free reign, you didn't have to necessarily go to school, you didn't have to clean your room, you didn't have to do all your chores, what would you choose to do? What is the thing that makes you happy? Like Soraya and Nathan, you are beaming being hosts on this show. So I know that there's a career in broadcasting and film and whatever it is you like to do, because that's what makes you so happy. Instantly you smile. So the young person can gauge where they're going, and all we do as we get older is fine-tune that very thing that has always been inside of us. And if they can do that, then they can start out on the road of making sure that their high school choice, their college choice, their postgraduate work, everything is in alignment with that thing that they've been given, because we've all been given a different assignment. And I'll wrap with this. When I was in kindergarten, I didn't know then, but I know now as I look back, that I would be doing the work that I do with my voice. First day of school, my mother brought me to school. She took the day off. She had myself and my cousin because she just knew that I would be traumatized by going to school. She opened the car door. I said, bye, Ma, and I never turned around. It's hurt my mother's feelings all these years later when she talks about it. She said, my child didn't even turn around and look at me. And my cousin was heaving, throwing up, crying, carrying on. She wanted to go home. And from that day, my mother said, yep, I knew you were a different personality. And when she came for the first meeting in school, the teacher said, your daughter is very intelligent. She's learned how to read already because my grandfather had taught me at home. But she doesn't understand that I'm the teacher. She keeps gathering all the kids together and teaching them the ABCs. So that started in kindergarten, that there was something about what I loved to do. And of course, that took on different levels of growth as I went to high school and college and beyond. But ultimately, my getting in trouble for talking in class all through high school, now I get paid to speak. So there's something that a young person is thinking about or that they love to do. They need to track that as they grow and just keep reinforcing it with extracurricular activities, with programs, with majors when they get to college. What you're doing now is community service as a part of this BronxNet TV. That's how you grow the thing that you've been given.
Where can people contact you if they wish to attend any of your sessions or to just simply see you?
Sure, they can keep in touch with me on the internet. I'm on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram. I know how to do selfies. And Stacie NC Grant. That's STACIENC, like North Carolina, Grant. And my website is www.staciencgrant.com. And they can join my newsletter there. They can see the other work that I'm doing and just stay in touch with the work that I've been given to do and my give back as I leave my legacy on the planet.
That's good. Well, thank you for coming onto the show today. It was a pleasure to have you.
Thank you for having me, and continue the great work. You're awesome host, and I can't wait to see you on the red carpet somewhere.
Unfortunately, that's all the time we have for today.
We'll see you next time for more Open 2.0.